baby, don't you wanna go? Whoa, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that single place, my sweet home, Chicago. Oh, baby, don't you wanna go? Oh, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that same old place, my sweet home, Chicago. Now let me stop. 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4. I made love so long, baby, I hope I gotta go. I cried, baby, honey, don't you wanna go? Back to that same old place, my sweet home, Chicago. All right, take it down. Oh, baby, don't you wanna go? Oh, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that land where I came from, I'm talking about my sweet home, Chicago. Now we're doing Chicago. 2 and 2 is 4, 4 is 8. Drank so much tequila, baby, I ain't feeling great. I cried, baby, honey, don't you wanna go? Back to that land where I came from, my sweet Illinois, Chicago. Okay, I'm gonna say it now. See ya. I said, oh, baby, don't you wanna go? I said, oh, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that same old place, my sweet home, Chicago. Thank you. Johnny Cole right here on Johnny Cole on percussion. So Birmingham, England, Gary Moscow guitar. We formed a band in 1978, right here in Lower Manhattan. We played together a little bit over the years, but not all that much, you know. And we're more playing together because we're old friends. As some of you know, when you get into later phases of life, being in touch with your past through personal contact is just very fulfilling. So this is less nostalgia, which is a lot of what my cabaret act is about, and more just about really a format called MTV Unplugged. So we used to play very hard and fast. We had a lot of, occasionally a drummer who used the Ginger Baker style set, and now we're doing it, you know, unplugged. So some of these songs I wrote with a guy who's a famous literary character now. He's at university in Pennsylvania, and his name is Peter Trachtenberg, and I don't remember some of the chords, but this was our opening number. I used to start it off like, no, really, but now it's going to be a little more sharp. It's called Some People. 1, 2, 3, go. Some people never get tired of swallowing I swear to God, you'll think that throat was a sewer. Some people never get tired of wallowing, just like a piglet sucked in the sow. I just can't help wondering how they rump and they binge and manage to stay so pure. Some people live like a famous millionaire. However they spread it, their credit never do. Some people like to pretend that they're Fred Astaire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Looking wherever they go, nobody even knows if they ever wrote a single bill mark women do. Some people are so confused. Some people got blood on their shoes. Oh baby, never thought I'd be through with you. Well, people like me, we never gag on the taste of shit. Oh no. Some people, they just wear their tongues on their sleeves. But people like you, girl, you never get tired of playing it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, you thought you could feed me with lies. Baby, you must realize, after these years I finally learned to hear. Some people are so confused. Some people got mud on their shoes. Oh baby, I never thought I'd be through with you. Some people are so amused. You know, some people like to read that poem. His name was Langston Hughes, but oh baby, never thought I'd be through with you. I'm finally through with you. I'm finally through with you. Finally through with you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let me hear you play that. Some people are so amused. Well, some people, you know, they get into some drug abuse, like me. Oh baby, never dreamed I'd be through with you. Well, I'll tell you now, some people are so confused. Some people got blood on their shoes, but oh baby, never thought I'd be. I'm finally. I'm finally through with you. Finally through with you. Yeah. Yes, sir. So in this song, this is a guy named Bert, and he was really disabled. And when I got out of college, I started, like I still do today, going to museums and chasing all these women in the quote art world. And he explained to me, as this like old guy who'd grown up with a lot of money, that there was two kinds of women, and I had a separate thing. There was the gallery girls, who were receptionists, really, trying to work their way up through like looking very, very beautiful and objectifying themselves. And then there was the museum women, who had like master's or doctorate degrees. and that the real limit of quality would be using women. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hold on. Now, this is a basic trick of pot. Don't bring that in until. Okay, so good. I'm gonna start. Then he's gonna come in. Then okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Brooklyn. All right, how you feel tonight? Well, I took the subway to 53rd Street, the modern art museum. A couple of kickers were waiting in line, but I had to pay money to see them. They got their perfume, they smell of the food. All dressed up, they look so divine. But let me confess, my sex life is deep. Good art is too hard to define. A museum women are driving me mad. They're driving me out of my mind. Museum women are making me mad. Good art is so hard to find. So hard to find. So hard to define. Well, I took a taxi, I drove straight downtown to do some blogging on Soho. Stopped in at my favorite West Broadway bar. I met a couple gay fellows. They said, come on boy, now let's step outside. This ain't no proper do you no harm. Well, I took one puff of that red stuff. I fell down and broke my arm, and it still hurts me. A museum women, they drive me mad. They drive me out of my soul. A museum women, all make me sad. This art is something, it's deep in your soul. Deep in your soul, deep in your soul. Take it. Oh yeah. Yeah. That one, I forgot a lot of it in the middle, but I always remember that. I took the subway. So the other thing is that now I'm singing it. I took the subway to 53rd Street. But, you know, my voice has changed over 45 years. The subway's got the Jeep and I can't get it outside. The anal papa did me real hard. The doctor says my anus will never be the same. And I still got that pain in my arm. Okay, so this next one, we were in business school together. And you can see how well it helped us train for a career in the music industry. So, this one, you know, we started just coming up with, you know, we had to deal with this Trachtenberg, who was a very narcissistic lyricist that took himself very seriously. And so we were trying to come up with light lyrics, and we had some basic terminology, and one of the things you hear about, which is the source of panic in Wall Street and all that, is what's called a cash liquidity crisis. So if anyone ever had the displeasure of studying, being trained in accountancy for me, you know about liquidity. I don't want to do a hand raising and interrupt the flow. So this song is called Cash Liquidity Crisis. And Tom played keyboard at a certain point, a very traditional Farfisa organ, and this got that real Paul Revere Raiders kind of sound. So. And now we're going to slow it down a little bit, update it. So. Let's go, boys. Well, there's a hole in my head, and my brain's leaking out. Cause my father, he fell dead, just so a new bond could flow. It's a cash liquidity crisis. You can't produce it, I want the man. Cash liquidity crisis. Let my economy stand. Let my economy stand. What to do? Everybody's gone crazy. We don't have enough to eat. But we're all back and feeling lazy. We got tons of frozen meat. Everybody's gone funky. Ain't got no penny cash. But we don't give a fuck about anybody else. We got lots of hash. Smoking grass, yeah. Well, there's a run on the bank, and the balls are all closed. And there's a hole in the gas tank, and there's a run in my pantyhose. Cause it's a cash liquidity crisis. Can't reduce it on demand. That's right, it's a cash liquidity crisis. Let my economy stand. Let my economy stand. Yeah, won't you let my economy stand? Let me stand. We used to do the whole set, but I can only 4 beats between each song. So. But now again, as you know, I have to catch my breath. These guys, we haven't seen each other in a long time. So what's next? Okay, yeah. So this one, I don't know, usually we practice this one. This one was the only song I've ever actually gotten royalties on. And again, I wrote it with Tom. at Tom's place in 1978, and I was listening to this band that had just broke at a jukebox down at Puffy's called B-52s, and they did this song called 52 Girls. That was the first sign of rock opposite, which was sort of a novelty song. They broke up. And ultimately I realized 52 Girls was coming out of Bo Diddley. But there was a guy from this really like trend resonant 90s band who really took us seriously, and he came to see us when we started to do a medley of like Mona, the Bo Diddley song, into Nuclear Secrets. And he said, "No, man, it's a separate song. Don't discredit yourself as a songwriter." So it's not really, it got popular again, the words. I'll try to use the original. So I'll do it. Yeah, you say it really fast.
No.
Well, I found out about nuclear secrets. Don't ask because I don't really need it. But I found out about the nuclear bomb. Drop that sucker on Vietnam, yeah. Well, we found out about the nuclear waste. Thrown in the bottom of the fluoride toothpaste. Well, we found out about 3 Mile Island. Well, President Jimmy Carter, he's sure smiling. Yeah. Well, Red China. Well, the CIA agent got a black eye shiner. Well, they put the secret deep on the boat to Hong Kong. But when they woke up in the morning in this hotel, the suitcase was gone. Yeah. Well, the KGB spies stole the bomb away. And they tested it in Afghanistan yesterday. Oh, well. Nuclear secrets gonna go to your brain, and chromosome damage gonna drive you insane. That's right, boys. You heard it. Well, well, don't ask us, cause we don't really want it. Yeah, well, we found out about. Well, President Reagan, he's still smiling. Well, we found out about the Indian Point. You know, I don't really care, Angel Cuomo, let's smoke another joint. Well, we found out about 3 Mile Island. Well, Carter Reagan, still smiling. Ooh, I like that. Well, nuclear secrets, oh yeah, yeah. Nuclear secrets, run for your life. Let's go. I've known each other since kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
And in the 5th grade, should I tell the story?
Sure.
You guys know your story? Yeah. So, you know, I was like late to toilet training and a smoldering, loving mother. You know? But I was pretty good. But, so you had to walk down the hall. You had to ask for permission. It was this kindergarten. And it was this long hallway. It was a separate sub-facility in the building that was built to be kindergarten with its own autonomous playground. And there was some kid, I don't know who he was, but he would lurk in the bathroom in the boys' room. And he was like already what I grew up traumatized from, which was the gangsters, the street kids in Brooklyn, the sons of mafia guys. The guys that wanted to act like they were because somebody else's dad was. And so this guy went in and it was like, hey, how you doing? And I freaked out, and so I held it in. And so eventually I peed on my chair. And Gary was the first person that I was able to trust. You know, I got past him. No, I didn't do anything. He just like gave me moral support. Right?
I just said, don't worry, I do the same thing.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't even want to do 5 o'clock.
Let's do 5.
Yeah, okay, so this is going back to Peter Trachtenberg, and these are beautiful lyrics. These get better as you get older. And, you want to sing it on the mic?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know, that's fine. You can sing it here acoustically. Keep the mic for your time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's loud. Come on. So we're all going to sing it together.
All right.
Is
Well, it's fine. All the streets are on fire,
and
one more snow.
it's too early to call you. It's too late to go to bed. On my love shower, I'll be pouring my coffee back just to stay awake. But it all tastes like ashes. Since you're gone. Let's stay on the key for
You try.
On the rush hour, try to pretend that you're not alone. So you dream that the city is sticking its tongue in your ear. With each step that you take, you know that some heart is breaking like the dawn. But the light's artificial anyway, now you're gone. And you don't have the grace to be charming, and you don't have the guts to be cruel. You must learn to shake hands with your sickness and go down where the bars are sufficiently dark that the choices are left up to you. Winter nights, light shines on the ice on the avenue. When you get to your party, your shoulders are covered with snow. Just once in a while, I'd like to go home with somebody that I knew, but they all seem like strangers nowadays. You're gone. You're the singers of the bridge. And you don't have the grace to be charming, and you don't have the guts to be cruel. You must learn to shake hands with your sickness and go down where the bars are sufficiently dark that the choices are left up to you. Winter nights, shines on the ice avenue. When you get to your party, shoulders are covered with snow. Just once in a while, I'd like to go home with somebody that I knew. But they all seem like strangers nowadays that you're gone. But they all seem like strangers nowadays. Yes, they all seem like strangers nowadays. And they all seem like strangers nowadays. And you're gone. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to get up there dramatic. That's what I said. Tanya, I was doing that. This one, we're going to just finish the canon of the two more ancient songs. These two are also Trachtenberg. This one, because Trachtenberg was actually from Brooklyn. These words really hold up. This is 78. This is inspired by, of course, the obsession at the time with Patty Hearst. So do it like speed drill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Tammy was a Brooklyn hitter. Everybody knew she was real. She went down to the Lansing's on Bayshore Parkway to see what there was to steal. Man in the store tried to bust her. Well, Tanya really wasted that fast. Cause it took you slow and it just didn't know. Tanya kept a bit in her bag. Tanya. Tanya, let me run with you. Tanya, yeah, Tanya, I love you, Tanya. I'm a Brooklyn girl too. Well, Tanya didn't like the teacher. I said I hope it was a twisted scene. Been walking as a pupil and needed supervision because her act wasn't clean. Well, then they went in a lady's bathroom and she did each a piece of her mind. Look here, the words were changed and the attitude changed, and now they just get all fine. Tanya, Tanya, let me run with you. Tanya, yeah, I love you, baby, love you, Tanya. I'm a Brooklyn girl too. Yeah. Whoa, Tanya. Gary Moscow is good. Yeah, Tanya, let me run with you. Tanya. Well, Tanya, baby, love you, Tanya. I'm a Brooklyn girl too. Well, Tanya wears a blouse with shiny silver sequins and she's taken to streaking her hair. She may feel at ease in certain social situations, but she always knows what to wear. Half of the balls are on Rikers and the others are on methadone. But it's so far to top when your major's in shot. and the guidance capsule's always gone. Tanya, Tanya, let me run. Tanya, oh, Tanya, baby, let me tell you, I'm a broken hitter too. Well, I'm a broken hitter. I'm a Brooklyn hitter too. That one, the tail was actually, that would be our finale or our encore, and then we'd come back on with just me going, you know. And then it's, you know, on drums. And then the guy would do a whole solo, and I'd say, from Birmingham, England, on the guitar. And it would ended up going into this group that would just go, bump. This one we really hadn't played in a long time. It was actually on our album. It was like an extended EP, 33. You can find it on obscure punk sites for $25 still. And one side was recorded live at CBG's. We left the best material off of it for various reasons. It's a long story. So this one is, let's see, it's in A way.
Okay.
This is also Trachtenberg. It has some tricky parts that I don't remember, but I gotta remember a few verses too, because I forgot. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. For the cost of the subway ride, there are people here in New York City make the cold out of you man. And they do not do it for pleasure. No, they do not have the sense of sin. But they'll screw ya and screw ya and screw ya just because of the space that they're in. Sometimes I get so excited, sometimes I get so depressed. A doctor tells me that it's low blood sugar, but I think it's the time. I think it's the time. Alright. My friends are on welfare. Yeah, some of my friends hate their jobs. And some of my friends say they're gonna leave the city just to get away from the slobs. But all my friends, they are artists, and they know the right choices to make. They know how to tell when a moment's real, and they know how to tell when it's fake. Sometimes I get so excited, well, you don't feel it. Sometimes I get so depressed. Oh shucks, you know, my doctor he told me that it's low blood sugar, but I think it's the time. I Well, now some people live lives of leisure, and they know how to move in their skins. They know just which pleasures you pay for, and they know just which pleasures to steal. But I will spill my guts on the table. Yeah, I will wear the little Windsor knots. I can suffer as much as they want me to if they stick the right colors in my style. Sometimes I get so excited, sometimes I get so depressed. But my doctor told me that it's low blood sugar, but I think it's no time. I think it's the time. I think it's the time. I think it's the time. Yeah, I think it's the time, 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 time. I think it's the time. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I think it's the time now. I think it's the time now. I think it's the time. Thank you. Good night, John. Tom Lukakis from Harrison, New York. For Birmingham, England, and Flatbush, Brooklyn, Gary Moscow.
Howie Sullivan, Flatbush, Brooklyn.
We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to do the cabaret act. So please stick around and have a great party, come talk, whatever. We're going to break the circle here. But, yeah. And so she told me that I should get out more often, and she's right, so. Get a little more. There are girls just right for some kissing, and I mean to kiss me a few. All those girls don't know what they're missing. I got a lot of living to do, and there's wine just ready for tasting. Cadillacs all shiny and new. Gonna move, cause time is wasted. I got a lot of living to do. Well, there's music to hear, places to go, and people to see. Everything for you and me. Life's a ball, if only you know it. And it's all there waiting for you. You're alive, so come on and show it. I got a lot of living to do. Tommy Vangelis. Yeah, there's music to hear, places to go, and people to see. Everything for you and me. Life's a ball, if only you know it. And it's all there waiting for you. You're alive, so come on and show it. I got a lot of living, such a lot of living. Got a lot of living to do. Thank you. We like to cover, I'm not going to do it tonight, but a lot of my people who see me before is like this sort of quasi-ethnomusicology of the history of pop and the way that songs are adapted and adopted and stolen. So I'm not going to do the lecture tonight, but this one is For a long time, even after the Wrecking Crew system broke up and bands started to play their own instruments with the advent of FM rock, there were still Me Too products in the same way that, you know, like Dial Soap and Ivory. And this song was clearly, I'm not going to tell you, you can tell me at the end of the song what band this was written off of. Friendly stranger in the black sedan, won't you hop inside my car? I got pictures, candy, I'm a lovable man, I can take you to the nearest star. I'm your vehicle, baby, man, I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, sugar, right now I'm sure you know that I love ya, need ya, I want ya, got to have ya. Great God in heaven, you know I love you, yeah. Well, if he wants to be a movie star, I can take you to a Hollywood. And if you want to stay just like you are, well, I think you really should. I'm your vehicle, baby, I'll take you anywhere you want to go. I'm your vehicle, sugar, right now I'm sure you know that I love ya, need ya, I want ya, got to have ya, child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Yeah, that was by the Eyes of March. It was actually much longer.
I know, I was afraid of the solo, though. I didn't know that.
Give us an Aretha tribute.
Yeah, we thought about that. Natural Woman? You think we can do that? Okay.
You can do it.
Yeah, okay. What, I'm not sure which key, but we didn't try this before, but you're right. We got to do it. Thank you, Dan. Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You brought me to my peace of mind. 'Cause you made me feel, you made me feel, you made me feel like a natural woman. And when my soul was in a lost and found, oh Lord, you know you came along to claim me. Well, I didn't know what was wrong with me, yeah. So your kiss helped me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. 'Cause if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. 'Cause you made me feel, 'cause you make me feel, oh, you made me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you done for me, done for me. You made me feel so good inside, good inside. Yeah, Lord, I just wanna be close to you. You made me feel so alive. 'Cause you made me feel, you made me feel, you made me feel like a natural woman, yeah. You know you made me feel, yeah, you made me feel, yeah, you made me feel like a natural woman. Yeah. Carole King as well, right? I used to do that. That was good. Yeah, we never played that before. So. Okay, what do we do next? What's the next question? We could do that. So this one is by George and Ira Gershwin. And George Gershwin, for those of you young people here, lived on 2nd Avenue, 7th Street, right near that theater where that percussion show has been playing since I didn't have gray hair. And I don't always remember this one. I used to do a whole Jonathan Schwartz bit before I play this one, but now I can't do it anymore. So let me try to remember. This is also part of like really when you get to be older and you start looking back on your life. The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, 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 they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just gleams, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. No, 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 they can't take that away from me. We may never, ever meet again on that bumpy road to love. But I always, always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. Oh no, no, they can't take that away from me. Oh, they can't take that away from me. Let's hear a little Tommy now. Never, ever meet again on that bumpy road to love. Still I always, always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. Oh no, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. They can't take that away. No, they can't take that away from me. Yeah. Thank you.
Breakdown? You know Chicago or what?
No, you have that.
Everybody else will watch now.
We got a whole bunch of Is that like going from slow to slow? Okay, so let's see. No.
Want to just tell a story?
What story? Yeah, let's do all around. So, this, by the way, is the Forbidden Show, but there's nothing forbidden about it, although I was going to do covers of really stodgy songs that I haven't done covers of before. So back when I was in high school and I first experienced romance, this was a big hit. And I still like to do this song. So.
Oh, okay.
fork in the road. Love's last episode. You know, there's nowhere to go. Oh no. You made a choice, and now it's up to me to bow out gracefully. But you know you hold the key, baby. Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. 'Cause I'll be around. 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought I knew just what to say. I found out today while the words they just slipped away. I know there's always a chance. Tiny sparkle remains, girl, and sparks turn into flame. Love will burn once again. Surely you know this. Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be there. Oh yeah. I'll be slipping into darkness. I'll be there. I'll be ripping it off. I'll be there. I'll be calling out your name to let you know I'll be around. Just call me on the phone, girl. I'll be there. I'll never leave you alone. I'll be there. Call out my name, I'll let you know I'll be around. Yeah, that was the swimmer, I think. Yeah, let me unplug this because this is the thing that's been causing the ground. So, this one, I used to do in tax season because I would do this tax season show. In fact, Gail can tell you sometimes people would show up on April 15th, even though I wasn't doing the show till April 20th, or, and they'd say, well, isn't this tonight? And I used to do this whole bit because I'd leave early, even though people would be lined up, and I could make another like $2,000, but I'd leave at 5 o'clock and come to a show, and being totally exhausted and sleepless, and it was great. And, so, but I did feel guilty because in a lot of my tax season show, one reason I like to do it the last night of the show is to really get the catharsis of the rage that builds up over the 6 to 8, 10 weeks of tax season. And so, if you kind of wait and let it go, it's like grief. You never lose the rage, but it just sort of goes into your full personality. It spreads itself out, like allocated over many years. But if you have that, boom, So I then felt guilty, and I came up with this song to compensate. I want everybody to know that despite all the tension, I love all my clients. I take their work very seriously. But I love chintzy pop from the 1960s. Now, I don't remember what day it was. I didn't notice what time it was. All I know is that I fell in love with you. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. Oh, every day is a new day in love with you. And with each day comes a new way of loving you. And every time I kiss your lips, my mind starts to wander. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. I love you more today than yesterday. Yeah, I think I'm fucking this up. Yeah, this is, I don't know. I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday, but only half as much as tomorrow. Tomorrow's day means springtime's just a day away. Cupid, we don't need you now, be on your way. I thank the Lord for love like ours that goes ever stronger, and I always will be true. I know you feel the same way too. Oh, I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday, but don't half as much as tomorrow. Every day is a new day. Every time I love you, every day is a new day. Every time I love you, every day is a new day. Every time I'm still in love with you. Oh yeah, I'm still in love, still in love, still in love with you. Well, that's good, we got that one. Oh yeah. So let's see, this is the past.
Raindrops, I hate you, you're so cool.
Oh, I started shots.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to take it into another song. Let's do it.
Okay.
So this one, this goes back to high school as well. You know, my brother, he's a professor of clinical psychiatry in a major medical school, and so growing up in the same room with him was depressing. I have a character that I do that's my impression of him that is so popular that people haven't even met him feel they know him. And then at some point they run across his textbook and they go, oh wow, I get it. You know. So we've become much closer in our 60s. And he talks like me, except he doesn't have this inherent compulsive sense of humor and self-centeredness that I have. So he's very serious. But he used to tell me what words meant, and I took him very seriously. He explained what symbolism was when I was too young to actually mentally absorb them. Years later, I went back to him, and I said, no, Barnett Newman's 12 Stages of the Cross is actually the tallis, and it's really that simple. And he later was like, yeah, I don't remember telling you what you said I told you in terms of symbolism. So this song, like so much of what he got awards for writing essays on at Erasmus Hall High School in the mid-1960s, was about Christ. And there was a whole period of time where liberal Jewish theology and extensions of the combination of humanism and Freud, and people whose parents were Marxists who were trying to keep it going but sublimate it into something that wouldn't out them later as a queer or a red, came up with, oh, it's Christ symbol. Like the whole scene in On the Waterfront at the end when he gets beaten up at the dock and he walks up to the right. You got anywhere? You know, that was all Christ. So this song he told me was all Christ, and then I later figured it out. It had much less meaning to me. And I became interested in this because I was looking at other songs that were written off this and metalizing them. Well, this is one that when I do it, I really start to break out of tears. So, when you're really depressed and you sing songs like this, it helps alleviate your depression. Much like what I was describing earlier with catharting the rage in front of the people who actually might have made you mad, rather than paying someone to listen to you in an artificial situation. I started a joke that started the whole world crying. Oh, if I'd only see that the joke was on me. I started to cry. That started the whole world laughing. Oh, why couldn't I see that the joke was on me? I looked at the sky, running my hand over my I fell out of bed, hurting my head. Things that I said. Then I started to die. I started the whole world living. And only see that the joke was on me. I looked at the sky, running my hand over my eyes, and I fell out of bed, hurting my head from things that I said. Then I finally died. That started the whole world living. Oh yeah, oh if I'd only see. Whoa, 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 that the joke was on me. Thank you. It's the Bee Gees. Yeah, well, no, he's trying to take the part about I finally died. That's right. I think he gets the Christ thing from him. Yeah. So. Okay, so what do we do now? Well, we've come to the end of our prepared material, but any request? We could do, I don't know, Bobby McGee, but I don't want to do that. You want to do that one? Last Kiss? I don't know if I want to go. Oh, okay. I was going to do a song. Yeah. Where? My baby breathe. Walk on by. We haven't done that one in years. You want to hear that one? Let's do Walk on By. Okay, this one. Tom is going to come up and do a song he did with Tommy in 1974, but I'm going to do one last, try to get your request, because we had never done Natural Woman, and I did really think about doing Aretha. Aretha, fortunately, had a good long life, and she was prepared, and they let everyone know she was dying. She had a nice little comeback, and she finally flew on a plane for the first time in many, many years, you know, a few months ago. So, this one was actually, this was written for her, and it was originally recorded with Aretha, and they didn't like the way it sounded, and so then it's almost the same track when Dionne Warwick sang it. If you see me walking down the street
and I start to cry each time we meet. Walk on by, walk on by. Make believe that you don't see the tears. Just let me breathe in private, 'cause each time I see you I break down and cry. Yeah, so walk on by, walk on by. Yeah, walk on by. I just can't get over losing you. So if I seem broken in two, walk on by, ba, 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 ba. Walk on by. Foolish pride was all that I left, so let me hide the tears and the sadness you gave me when you said goodbye. Walk on by, walk on by, walk on I pay no mind, but what do you mean that I am the one going dancing on the floor all around? Yeah, well, she told me her name was Billie Jean as she crossed my seat and showed a photo of baby's eyes. Look like mine, going dancing on the floor and around. People always tell me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. But she came right by me and I smelled her sweet perfume. And I went all too soon. She talked to the room, yeah. But she's not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. Oh, the kid is not my son. The kid is not my son. When the music's over, yeah. Well, the clock says it's time to close. Joe, I know I have to go. Joe, I really like to stay here all night. The cars drive past, all stuffed with eyes. Streetlights share in a hollow glow. Your brain seems bruised with no surprise. Still one place to go. Still one place to go. Let me sleep all night in your soul kitchen. Woman, man, be gone, get a stone. Turn it on in a while, baby. Stoning in the neon. Go with your feet. With a minaret. Speaking a secret alphabet. I like another cigarette. Learn to forget. Learn to forget. Why don't you learn to forget? goddess on a mountain top, burning like a silver flame. Some made of beauty and la, 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 la. Well, Venus was her name. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. I'm gonna wait till midnight hour. Your desire. Well, there must be some kind of way out of here, said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. Why can't get no relief when a businessman may drink my wine, clown man dig my earth, further on along the line, nobody of it is worth. Hey, hey, hey. To get excited, ooh, if they kindly spoke. Wow, there are many here among us. Oh yeah, we feel like life is but a joke. Well, now you and I, we've been through that. Let's not discuss this, and this is not our fate. So let us not talk falsely now. Oh, the hour is getting late, yeah, late, yeah, late, yeah. Break it down. Good job, y'all. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I said all along the watch out. Well, good God, Christians kept of you, yeah. All pretty little women, they came and went with their barefoot servants too. Well, outside in the cold distance, you could hear a wildcat to crowd. Two riders were approaching, and the wind began to howl. I just can't get over losing you. So if I sing broken in two. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now who wants to try to explain the symbolism of the lyrics to Watchtower, right? Whatever. So, Tom Matakis. Yeah. Is he here? Tom's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. So you already heard the nasty story about how I met Gary. Well, I won't give you the details on Tom, but it was, I had moved on to being in the role Gary was in when I met Tom. And Tom was introduced to me by his girlfriend at the time. And he had all these records from England, and he turned me on to a lot of the stuff that influenced us, that led us to form the band. So.
Time takes a cigarette, puts it in your mouth. You pull on your finger, then another finger, then your cigarette. The wall to wall is calling, it lingers, and you forget. No, 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 you're a rock and roll suicide. You're too young to use it, too old to lose it. clock waits so patiently on your song. You walk past a cafe, but you don't eat when you've lived too long. No, 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 you're a rock and roll suicide. Chevy brakes are snarling as you walk across the road, and the day breaks instead, so you hurry home. Don't let the sun blast your shadow, don't make the milk flow ride your mind. It's so natural, unreligiously unkind. Oh no, love, you're not alone. You're watching yourself, but you're too unfair. You got your head all tangled up, but if I could only make you care. Oh no, love, you're not alone. No matter where, no matter who, oh, no matter when. Yeah, just turn on with me. You're not alone. Oh, give me your hands, and you're not alone. Oh, give me your hands. You're wonderful. Give me your hands. You're wonderful. Oh, give me your hands. Wonderful. You're so wonderful. You're so wonderful. Oh, give me your hands.
Want to do one more?
Yeah.
One more. That one, I don't know, man. I like that one. Yeah, let's do some.
You're so
This one again, this goes back to the late 70s, and I heard this one, I played it at a party with a group of people about 50 times in a row. And then years later in the apartment, you know, when I had my number 16 was vacant, and the steward lived upstairs, so I was practicing it, and I got it wasn't a karaoke track, it was the flip side, was the instrumental. So I played it about 50 times in a row, and Stewart was, you know, into all that, you know, Trent noise stuff. And I thought, oh, the guy upstairs is gonna get annoyed because it's so, and then he came down and said, Matt, that song is great, I wanna cover it. So anyway, I thought this guy, I didn't know this guy was white until I was in the Nico Hotel years later, and he was playing at the Rooftop Lounge, and I saw his picture. He's from Florida, he's blue-eyed soul. But this is called What You Won't Do for Love. I guess you wonder where I've been. I search to find the love within. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you,
and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me, but I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know, yeah, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do, you do for love. You've tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you let me do for love what I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me, 'cause I'm in a daze from your love, you see. Well, I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. You know I only want the best, it's true. I can't believe all the things that I do for you. What you won't do, you do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. Well, in my world, won't let you let me do for love what I would not do. Let's head to the town now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see the crystal raindrops fall in the window down the hall, when there comes a morning dew. And darling, when the morning comes and I see your name, I wanna be the one with you. It's just the two of us, building castles way on high, just the two of us. You know, girl, you and I, well, just the two of us. Well, really, just the two of us, yeah. You and I. One more time. I guess you wonder where I've been. I search to find the love within. What you won't do for love. Thank you. Thank you very much. And drive safe. So I used to say at the end of the gigs is, drive safely, good night. And every once in a while I see some rock concert on cable TV, and then they go, good night! You know? And people say, well, they took that from you, man. I remember I saw you like in you want some of this? And you know. Anyway, so I don't want to do any bits. I didn't mention too many family members or anything too morbid. I avoided discussing politics completely, which is good. This particular set, or your vibe, and the weather and everything, was very uplifting, very euphoric, very romantic, which is what I was trying for. So I think particularly the two songs we did just spontaneously, Van Halen and then the Aretha. I used to do a whole act, which was a parody called Necrophilia, where we would talk about, people who died. And then in the last 5 years, especially for me, Bowie was a milestone, of course.
And once you got where you just start to realize the demographics, once you're in your 60s, you know, your parents warned you, and people just start dropping, you know, and you start having to make these speeches at these, you know, events, you know, and there's so much of this weird mausoleum necrophilia stuff. And the key thing is just to tell a little ditty and talk about the person and leave, but you get a lot of people who just start to go on like, well, when I first moved to New York, and it's really incongruous and it makes me really angry, so I'll like, go out and have a cigarette. And then people go, why are you disrespecting this dead artist who you're intimate with? And I'm like, well, one day you'll get it. So then we started trying out, we did Tom Petty and we did all these others. So I did think about Aretha, but Aretha is just so obvious. Like, she's major, and it does scare you. I won't say any names, but all the people who are the icons who we've shared, some of the material I did tonight written by them, and we're anticipating just actuarial table-wise that they're going to be going soon as well. And, you know, so. Anyway. Well, thanks for coming. Stick around, have a drink. No one's going anywhere. There's no curfew. We didn't get any noise complaints, and I didn't play trumpet. And there was no... Right, that was like, you know, like, sure, you know, self-criticism. Like, put yourself down so they can't do it, you boy. Yeah, you got that psychology down. But yeah, all that material just gets better as the years go by, and you keep doing it, and you see all of the connections between all those melodies. And, you know, when you're young and you think you're writing original songs, you think you need to find a unique combination of chords, and then you just see that there's only like 2 or 3 combinations that anyone ever really worked. And it's getting some subtle new invention to those changes that really is the struggle. You know? So, anyway, thank you, and hang out. Does anyone have any questions? And again, the agents, who some of you came late, you might have missed, but Gary Mosca, Tom Latakis, and Chrome Bright, my in-house documentarian. We're shooting all kinds of secret 3D